फेर लेना, मुँह को न मोड़ना, दुनिया को छोड़ देना, यार को न छोड़ना, यार को न छोड़ना। देखो मंसूर कैसे जान से खेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला।
Okay, he's probably happy to just allow music. Because I just put music outside.
आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। तेरी जिंदगी मौज है 2 घड़ी की, ये बातें हैं नादान सब जीत जी की, सब जीत जी की। ये दुनिया हुई है ना होगी किसी की, वही एक मंजिल है हर आदमी की, हर आदमी की। जहाँ सबको जाना पड़ेगा अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। एक बार साथ देके साथ न छोड़ना, जान जाए तो जाए, दोस्ती न तोड़ना, दोस्ती न तोड़ना। नजरें न फेर लेना, मुँह को न मोड़ना, दुनिया को छोड़ देना, यार को न छोड़ना, यार को न छोड़ना। देखो मंसूर कैसे जान से खेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला।
Yeah, plus this one maybe. Yeah. What is that?
आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। तेरी जिंदगी मौत है 2 घड़ी की, ये बातें हैं नादान सब जीत जी की, सब जीत जी की। ये दुनिया हुई है ना होगी किसी की, वही एक मंजिल है हर आदमी की, हर आदमी की। जहाँ सबको जाना पड़ेगा अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। एक बार साथ देते साथ न छोड़ना, जान जाए तो जाए, दोस्ती न तोड़ना, दोस्ती न तोड़ना। नजरें न फेरने ना, मुंह को न मोड़ना, दुनिया को छोड़ देना, यार को न छोड़ना, यार को न छोड़ना। देखो मंसूर कैसे जान से खेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला। तेरी जिंदगी मौत है 2 घड़ी की, ये बातें हैं नादान सब जीत जी की, सब जीत जी की। ये दुनिया हुई है ना होगी किसी की, वही एक मंजिल है हर आदमी की, हर आदमी की। जहाँ सबको जाना पड़ेगा अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला 2 दिन का मेला एक बार साथ देके साथ न छोड़ना जान जाए तो जाए दोस्ती न तोड़ना दोस्ती न तोड़ना नजरें न फेरना को न मोड़ना दुनिया को छोड़ देना यार को न छोड़ना
When you sung there, and like when you sung there, and when it's just that whoever performing, right? So,
जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला 2 दिन का मेला
Shall we not ready?
What tell Ali? Just for the initial thing.
तेरी जिंदगी
Both of them.
You make the ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Take the knife and scissors now.
दुनिया हुई है ना होगी किसी की वही एक मंजिल है हर आदमी पड़ेगा अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला 2 दिन का मेला
Ada buat desain saya senang kau di pos gas tu.
Pieces are put together and
Yeah.
Ali will depend on it.
Yeah.
But if it's up already, then right there. Okay, good man. Yeah. Just the extra thing there, bring over half of it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you now.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. The rest is here. The rest is
छोड़ना जान जाए तो जाए 2 दिन छोड़ना
How much people are again?
But if we are
The way down here. 3. Alright.
okay, so
Yeah. Yeah. Right. 2 82. That will be 2 or 1 more.
दुनिया को छोड़
Yeah.
देना यार को न छोड़ना यार को न छोड़ना देखो मंसूर कैसे जान पे खेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला
You just tell me.
That's well for funeral, so. Going temple. You guys up? Yeah. Okay.
ये दुनिया हुई है ना होगी किसी की वही एक मंजिल है
Yeah, normal outing.
पड़ेगा अकेला तो दिन की जिंदगी है
Yeah, I'll start it here. You're right. Yeah, we just do that. Yeah. Yeah, just start around. 14 day Maya.
When you just invite from here,
From here, yeah.
okay, and then from what times
No, 14 day Maya. Or 14 days. Yeah. Right? And then down there we do all that.
Okay.
But I wouldn't do that until the 40 like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was
I talked last night and night before. Because total of 3 hours in the 2 nights. Now I watching the exam to see how much you remember.
I talked a little bit here before night too. Before you talked yesterday, I talked one hour prior to that. so I'm almost on par with you.
So is it alright?
My condolences to all friends, family members, villagers of the deceased. At this point in time, So at this point in time, what I'm suggesting, those who would like to view the body and whatnot, please come forward before the little rituals started at this point. So after when it is that we are making our offerings, there will be a little space allotted for the family to also do their little offerings as well. So at this time, before we start, please come forward to view. Thank you. Give me my carrots using a live one. Space man. Space man.
Om Bhakratuндра Mahakaya Koti Surya Samprabha Nirvighnan Kuru me Deva Sarvakaleshu Sarvada Jai Bhi Akela Jai Bhi Akela दो दिन का जिंदगी गए दो दिन का मेरा आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन का जिंदगी गए दो दिन का मेरा जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए मतलब की याद सारे सभी है पराये जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए मतलब की याद सारे सभी है पराये जिनके लिए है कितना तूने दुख झेला दो दिन का जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन का जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला काहे तो आया जग में क्या तुझको करना लेकी कलम कर ले दुनिया से डरना काहे तो आया जग में क्या तुझको करना नेकी करम कर ले दुनिया से डरना पाप की अगन में खुद को कहे को धकेला 2 दिन का जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए दे अकेला जाए दे अकेला 2 दिन का जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला हर की शरण तो हो जा जान लगाए जीवन मिले ना फिर जीवन को पाले खेल जगत का सारा मुश्किल है केला 2 दिन का जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन का जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला 2 दिन का जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला
Principal is Sri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.
I think you guys could hear me just fine like this.
Yes.
Everyone hear me?
Yes.
Just ask the whole and So my dear friends, today we are all gathered here to express our sympathies with you, the physical body. And please accept my condolences on this day. Panditji Pandit Hari Pandit Lal has the confidence in me today to perform these rites and rituals. So thank you, Panditji. And also join in with me today, Panditika, no stranger. And what I'd also like to mention before we begin formally, as a little fella, I remember with my father coming to see Uncle Mangra, when it is that auntie was alive, she had her only banner tie in her head. She was lying down, we then we come and check her and whatnot. So today I think I stand here on behalf of not only Panditji, a little bit as well, but also if my father was here, he would have been present here for this day. So Antishti Karam, my dear friends, as mentioned with Panditji, we were listening for the past few nights, that it is a samskar, an important step in life. And through this, the physical body now, Atma has left. And on this day, it begins now all of the rites of the funeral, where it is that we are disposing of the body. All of the time we have Smaranam and Bhagwan, remembrance of the Lord who gave the family. So with this now, the 5 elements that resides in the body, we are asking Bhagwan that let such elements return peacefully. And let this journey that this Atma has to go to Bhagwan, set that he be one of a peaceful state, good nature. So as we offer prayer today, Panditji is performing the purification and so forth. We will all have a little dhyan to contemplate on Bhagwan. And let everyone be peaceful, because I want you to think about it. When this Atma is in the physical form, it has the body to interact and touch and whatnot. But out of this body now, what is the condition? Baba would have spoken about this for the past 2 nights. So what can we do to assist the peacefulness of that Atma? By chanting the name of Bhagwan, remembering the name of Bhagwan. Baba would have said that we need to hold the tears today, and after it is that when it is that the chikka is lit, then it is that you can release. Correct, Baba? That involves a life of Dhamma, meaning that man has to have some sort of control over his senses at different phases. So on days like this, we can administer that level of control what the scripture is talking about. So I ask of you, if it is that we can't do this, if we cannot, then Bhagwan would penalize us too much. So it is said, having performed washing of the hands, placing of the rings, please stand. As we engage in little smaranam, opening prayer, remembrance of Bhagwan. At this point in time, we'll ask everyone, please clasp hands, close eyes. In our dharma, all of these rites are performed in the name of Bhagwan, with the name of Sri Krishna in mind. And once more, let us start this process. contemplating on Bhagwan. In our land, many are being sent off. And let us have that smarnam which the scripture is speaking about. Peacefully, we engage as we worship Bhagwan. लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिविरध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरणं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ अर्यमादेवाय नमः ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः ॐ नारायणाय नमः प्रेम से बोले श्री कृष्ण महाराज की जय। Awesome. Those who are please take your seat. Gentlemen, please walk out. So my dear friends, this Anteshti Karam Sankalp is required, and we take little Sankalp. The main Jajman holds in his hand, taking lead of all such activities. May the rituals that are associated in Anteshti Karam, may we declare our service to Bhagwan. If not him, others will take the responsibility to uphold in which way we can to perform the rites and rituals that are related to Shraddh Karam. So contemplate on the Guru, have Smaranam of the Guru a little bit, recite Om Krishnaya Namaha as we declare a little bit of Sankalp mantra here. Hari Om Vishnur Vishnur Vishnuhur Adya Sri Brahmanoni Dvijye Praharde Shri Shvetavara Kalpe Vaivasvat Manvantare Ashtavamishate Tame Kali Yuge Kalipat Mancharane Chinedada Dese Sri Bhuva Grame Punya Kshetre Bhaudavtare Vartamane Ananda Samvatsare Sri Uttar Ayane पौष मासे श्री व्यातिपात योगे श्री करने श्री भव करने श्री धनुष राशि सिते सूर्य कुंभ राशि सिते शशांके शक्तिष्ठ नक्षत्रे पंचमे तिथौ श्री यथा राशि स्थान शुभ राशि स्थान श्री कश्यप पुत्र नामः अमुक यजमानामस्य take your name in your mind, calling in your last name. यजमानामस्य अमुक प्रेतस्य take the departed name. श्री प्रेतस्य अंत्येष्टि करम जजमान से अहम करिष्ये ओम श्री कृष्ण अर्पणम ओम श्री कृष्ण अर्पणम इति संकल्प think they will do what I'm basically deciding. Anything we go back to that संकल्प है?
You want to extend it for the other one?
पुत्र दीयते पौत्र दीयते पौत्र दीयते अंत्येष्टि करम अहम करिष्यामि sprinkle it over. Good. Little flowers. Stand up on the roof. We will try to face all, but we will try to deal with this, but that's fine. That's fine. So once more, let us focus the mind on Bhagavan. We have taken little sankalp. We have started with a little prayer. So these simple offerings are offered to Bhagavan. Where this corpse is lying here, we make the necessary offering of the water, the chandan, the pinda, etc. Bringing closure as well to letting this mind understand that this body has to return to its element. So once more contemplate Hasmanaman Bhagavan as we ask for his blessings to begin such little rituals in this way. Hari Om Namo Krishnaya Namaha Om Namo Purushottamaya Namaha Om Namo Madhusudanaya Namaha Om Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchyatmai Namastasmai Vishnave Pravajishnave Shuklam Bharanam Devam Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Varanam Jayet Sarva Vigno Bhasandaye Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. एक बार बोलिए श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. You will remain up here, right? No, stand up right. Hari Om Sri Kashyap Gotrasya Sri Mangra Jualla Pretasya Mrityustane Shavanimit Snanam Putra Diyate Pautra Diyate Taom Patishpitam Om Krishnaya Namaha Om Govindaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Purushottamaya Namaha Om Gopi Vallabhaya Namaha Om Devaki Nandanaya Namaha. Hari Om Sri Kashyap Gotrasya Mangra Jualla Pretasya Mritstane Shavanimit Bhandam Putra Diyate Pautra Diyate Tau Patishpitam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you have time with your but if not, no problem. No, there sometimes they have to say
Mala.
sometimes they put it in, they put it
Teraz się zazy.
Hari Om Namo Sri Kashyap Gotrasya Sri Mangra Jualla Pretasya Mrityustane Shavanimit Pushpamala Putra Diyate Pautra Diyate Tau Patishtitam. Om Namo Krishnaya Namaha Om Namo Krishnaya Namaha Om Namo Krishnaya Namaha. So at this point in time, while the arati is being offered, let us all stand.
Start and you go right down, okay? Yeah. What?
Body para.
Straight across the entire body and then go around. Yeah, into the whole body. Yeah, stretching on the front side. Good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Om Yamandwari Mahabhuriyande Dukam Sadhyate. Yamandwari Mahabhuriyande Tamaso Vrite Tatro Lokarthayanam Deepoyam Putra Pautra Deepam Tavo Patishyatam. Om Madhya Sri Kashyap Gotrasya Mangra Jualla Pretasya Mritistane Saunimita Deepam पुत्र पौत्र आदि दीयते तवो प्रतिष्ठताम्।
हरि ओम नमो कृष्ण गोविंदाय नमः। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। बोलिए श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय। Little finger done. Dan dulu tinggal
pindah. Om ada pasya gotrasya
Mangra
Jualla Prestasya Mittistane Savanimit Isate Pinda Putra Autra Diyate Tavo Pratishtata. You bring the tilare to water. Om idam niram idam siram idam vivaha. Samaiva. Only if I decided we're going to do the dollar this time. ओम वसुः पवित्रमसि शतधारणम वसुः पवित्रमसि सहस्रधारणम देवास्य सविताः पुनः तु वसुः पवित्रन शतधारेण सुभदा कामदुक्ष। ओम वसुभ्यय नमः। ओम परिवाहाय नमः। This one over here. Next one. Om Varunasyotam Tamba Namasi Varunasya Skambha Janirthato Varunasya Rita Sadanamasi Varunasya Rita Sadan Namasi Varunasya Rita Sadan Masi Daha. Om Varunaya Namaha. Om Pretsakaya Namaha. On the right arm. Next one will go under the left arm. Om Atmonir Buddhaya Sruno Vajaha Eka Pat Vridasi Samudraha विश्वे देवा रीतावृतो हवामसुनः मंत्रं कविष्यता अवन्तु ओम अजपकादाय नमः ओम प्रेताय नमः ओम शिवो नामसि स्वधि तिस्ते पता नामस्ते अस्तु मामहि गुम सिखित निवारणायाय आयुष नामाय प्रजन नामाय रायस योक्षाय सुप्रजास्ताय सुवीर्याय अहिर बुधनाय नमः प्रेत भवनियाय नमः. This one on the left. No, come the neighbor. प्रेत भूमियाय नमः. ओम पुष्णत्वः प्रेत ध्यान ऋषेम कदायचनम स्तोतारस्य इहस्मसिः. ओम पुष्णे नमः. ओम प्रेतहर्ते नमः. ओम काव्यादग्नि प्राहिमि दूतम यमराज्यो रक्षन्तु विप्राः यथा वाह निरो जातवेदा देवेभ्यो हव्यम आहो प्रज्ञानामः. ओम त्वं भूतमृदा दिव्यदेव निस्त्वं भूत परिपालकः मृत संसार करत
स्वाहा. ओम धर्मराजाय नमः स्वाहा. ओम मृत्युवे नमः स्वाहा. ओम पताय नमः स्वाहा. ओम वैश्वताय नमः स्वाहा. ओम कालाय नमः स्वाहा. ओम सर्वभूताय नमः स्वाहा. ओम औदंबराय नमः स्वाहा. ओम धन्याय नमः स्वाहा. ओम नीलाय नमः स्वाहा. ओम परमेष्टिने नमः स्वाहा. ओम विकृताय नमः स्वाहा. ओम चित्राय नमः स्वाहा. ओम चित्रगुप्ताय नमः स्वाहा.
कमलानां प्रेताय नमः स्वाहा.
So earlier when we spoke a little bit about the physical body and knowing that this body is made up of the elements and whatnot, when this body has life, which is believed that our dharma call it atma, jiva, many call it soul and whatnot, this fuels this physical body as well. And through this nature of the person, the swabhav, man will have different relations, interactions, and he will have certain company as well. And he will worship the Lord in a particular way, and this is how he lives life and sets the tone for his family. So we can see the kind of life the individual, Mr. Mangra, Jualla, who I would have called Uncle Mangra, he lived a life where it is in alignment with dharma. So hence his send-off is most appropriate, where it is that we have peacefulness, the nature of the day itself it is peaceful, and all of the rites are being performed with meditation on Bhagavan. So too to aid this purpose, to assist now this journey, and also to comfort the family, the name of Bhagavan should be listened to, and the katha as well of the Lord should be listened to. So let us at this time offer a little kirtan and join in two verses of Bhagavad Gita. Ek baar bole Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Govinda jai jai, Gopal jai jai. Govinda jai jai, Gopal jai jai. Govinda jai jai, Gopal jai jai. Radha Raman Hari Govinda jai jai. Guru Radha Raman Hari Govinda jai jai. Govinda jai jai, Gopal jai jai. Govinda jai jai, Gopal jai jai. Radha Raman Hari Govinda jai jai. Radha Raman Hari Govinda jai jai. Radha Raman Hari Govinda jai jai. Bole Govinda Bhagavan ki jai. Mamevamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manaha Shastrani Indriyani Prakritishtani Karashati Shariram Yalavapnote Yachapukramati Vrihi Vaitani Samyati Vayurgandhani Vasayat Shotram Chakshus Parashanam Cha Rasanam Granam Evacha Adhischaya Manaschayam Vishayamupasevate Utkramantam Sthitam Vapi Munjanam Vagunavitam Vimudhananupashyanti Pashyanti Jnana Chakshushaha. Prem se bole Sri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. So we are familiar, some of us who are Sanatanis Hindus, and also if you are even not Hindu, and you witness little funeral rites being performed along this nature, this text, Bhagavad Gita, is recited, verses are recited, pravachan, you listen to the little words as well. So this time is a striving time for the family members, because something has been taken away, a comfort, the father of the home. Although in the latter phases that he was on the bed awaiting for whenever Bhagavan is ready for him, still the image, that breathing individual is there, that is a comfort in itself. So when it is we take away this individual now, these people now, these individuals now, they have to strive for a different realization what has happened here. So Baba typically says that when we identify with this body here, we identify with this physical body. So at this day now, Atma, when we talk about Atma leaving and Atma in this body, it's a little bit harder now to have this recognition, because we would have identified with this physical body throughout our entire lives. And Bhagavan also is giving a little bit of a explanation what dwells within this body. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Bhagavan says that this eternal Jivatma is in this body. And Arjuna, it is a part of my own self. So this is a little explanation about the soul. The soul or the Atma, Bhagavan is saying that that is a fragment, it is a of me. And That is a portion of me, and that alone, which draws itself the senses, the mind, and it will reside here in Jivaloki, in this Prakriti. So Baba would have explained, according to karma, this is how this would happen. Lord Krishna is talking about what it is made up of, but how it happens now is man's karma determines where he will be in the next life. So this is why you will hear Sadgati, oh Lord, I offer all of this to you. We do not know where this Atma has to go. But let all of this assist it to go in a good state. State where it is close to Bhagwan. Shariryam yadavapnoti yachya vikramati ishvaraha. Bhagwan is telling him, this is a nice part. I like to say this part here. You know, this horn is a nice example of that. And I think Baba will use this example a little bit now. Nowadays you give it. Look at the wind. Yeah? Wind is blowing this smoke. If it doesn't have any wind at all, then you see a little stagnant smoke. The density might have been different. But just as the wind is carrying this smoke here, this example is telling you that even as the wind will carry the scent of flowers, of this Google that is blooming here, so too, when death happens, this Jivatma, which is the controller of this body, so this is what Bhagavad Gita is bringing a light of, this Jivatma is the controller of this body. It takes now the mind and the senses, meaning that it takes the karma, all that what the mind was engaged in throughout its life, remembering all what actions it was performing. It takes this now, and it migrates quickly to another body, which it acquires according to that karma. So too, my dear friends, this is why Bhagavan in other portion tells to have remembrance on him, think about him throughout life and whatnot. So whenever we have to walk this pathway, it is easier to remember the Lord, so we are not separate from him. Bhagavan says in this body, the senses of hearing, sight, taste, touch and smell, as well as this mind, this is how the Atma enjoys it now, through this body. But when it is the Atma isn't in this body now, when it leaves now, then natural process takes place, nature takes place, where the decomposition process has already started. So too, we have to have this in mind, so that not only on this day we can identify with Mr. Mangra, Jualla, what is taking place here, we all have to go through this. We all have to walk this walk, because Bhagavan tells, just as what has been created will one day be destroyed. So he tells, grieve not, O Arjuna. Well, it's a little bit hard when we are attached to the physical body and the relations and whatnot. So my ending goes before I pass over to Baba here. Utkramantam sitam vapi gunjanam va gunavitam vimudhanam pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. So the ignorant one knows nothing about all what we just spoke about the soul residing here, the soul leaving this body, the soul through this body and senses and mind enjoying life, causing relation, causing karma, to determine its state after. He said even when it is connected with these three gunas, only those endowed with the eye of wisdom, jnana chakshu, will have the knowledge of this here. Because these gunas now is what we speak about a little bit in the temperaments of purity, desire, ignorance. There's a separate whole katha. I think throughout in Hari Baba will talk a little bit about these gunas and the states and whatnot it could cause man to go into. But only those endowed with the eye of wisdom. This Shrad, when we spoke about the impression, this samskar, he is dependent, this 16 samskar, he is dependent on those who he would have left behind now to send him off in a peaceful way, in a way in which it is according to our scriptures. So we could only do this now based on our appeal and understanding to the Lord, and do it with an eye of wisdom. So this is what I'm appealing to all of us. Let us have that eye of wisdom to have this realization, to connect with Bhagwan here. So even when it is that we have to go in this way, it is a little bit easier. As mentioned, I knew Uncle personally, even before Baba asking me to do a little puja and whatnot to him, coming as a little boy with my father, he was one of the people that I saw my father have a good friendship with. That is something that we have to pay attention to. Look at, I could see that even with the relationship I have with Baba, this is a friend. So when I looked at it, I saw him as a great individual. He was a friend of my father when I met Baba as a friend of Baba. As a matter of fact, it was here that I met Baba for the first place, as I would have said. And I thought he was a now. Please forgive me, Baba. Because this man, just like what this Baba was, they just take out the kurta from this fella, you see he doing this, that. You could say he's a now. Because he have only dhoti, but that day, is where I said, this is the most excellent now. This man knows puja to a T. Only after when I spoke with Baba and whatnot, and he was doing this is Pandit Lara also. So from there, it is the start of a good, it started from somewhere. So just as how I look on this day, I am saying a few words of Katha. It is with honor I could relate to address all of you. And it is with great respect I perform this ritual today. Thank you very much. I hand you over to Panditji. And I think Auntie Parvati or someone will also say a few words. Yeah. Get into that now?
Anything about which one? You want to read it?
A little bit on the life and times of the person who I was known as Mangra. Yeah.
Tumeva matassa pita tumeva, tumeva banduccia saka tumeva, tumeva vidya drobina tumeva, tumeva salva mama deva deva. Put it long because I want it.
This was the first prayer that we learned from our Father, and this is one of the last prayers that was recited to him. It is a mantra to the gods, but for many of us, our parents are also our gods on earth. When I was asked to say a few words at the funeral of Daddy's twin sister, I said, Pa, what do you think I should say? And that eulogy was a conversation with him. So in his honor today, we will share similar words. It is a difficult day for us who are paying our respects to Mangra Jualla. Thank you all for being here and for being part of his life. For those of you also on Zoom who cannot be here, especially his daughter Gita and his other grandchildren, family and friends. Anybody who has shared a relationship with this great, warm-hearted, funny, loud, giving soul will be sad today that he is gone, but happy that he is on a clear path to his Creator. In the condolences that kept coming in, the words that were used to describe him were great, a lion, a champion, a fighter, a survivor, powerful, problem solver, and for my cousins, someone who ran to the rescue of any family member, hard worker, loved by his family, good provider, intelligent, smart, witty, and sweet friend. As a father and a great one at that, Daddy earned the right to be cared for lovingly by his daughters and sons-in-law in his last days, who all saw this not as burdens, but acts of love. Many barriers were broken, and we got even closer to him, but there's nothing that can explain the pain reflected in those eyes as he slowly experienced the loss of his independence and having to give in to being cared for. He often deliberately shrunk into himself. He always said to us, when it is our time, we all have to go, and life is like that. Once a man, twice a child. Old age, the physical attack he suffered that resulted in brain surgery, the dementia in his final days, all took a painful toll on his psyche and life. But he was often more coherent than not, more happy, helpful, and vital than not, utterly more grateful than not, and more alive than not. Until the very end, when it was his time, he knew his time and he held on for it. Pa, you were Mangra Jualla, one of 6 children, 91 years old. You planted the master tree in the back, and it fell only a few months before your passing. Standing by the foot of that tree, you told your grandson, I accomplished so much in life, boy, and I had to do it by myself. Orphaned at an early age, you were working in the sugarcane fields as early as age 10. Married at 20 to our late mother, Kumti Mangra, who visited the standpipe a little more often than necessary so that you could sneak regular glimpses of each other. You worked hard to raise your children, who you always said were your blessings. You loved us. You have lived a full and fruitful life to witness your children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews grow into respectable men and women. You were a young man before you were a child. You had to provide for your siblings instead of playing ball in savannah like most children at that age. You were a builder, a farmer, the village messiah who eased the pain of many with your cracking skills. You were the young cattle fetcher who in your last days tried to scale the walls to fetch those lost cattle, or go in the back river to search for them in the wee hours of the morning, because that was your job as a child. You were the perpetual night watchman, and this job kept you awake many a restless nights. Only those who truly knew and understood you grasped it all. We, your children, knew and loved you. It is from deep within our souls that we say goodbye. In our lives, our Father. Thank you, Pa, for life. We love you. Thank you for keeping our culture intact as much as you could, despite it being ripped from us by external forces. You and Mommy were the greatest parents to your children. Yes, there were failures and mistakes along the way, but when compared to the battles that you fought, they were forgivable and forgiven. I end with these lines of one of your favorite songs. Do din ka zindagi hai, do din ka mela, I be akela, jai be akela. What did you bring in the world? What will you take away with you? Only life of 2 days fair. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Veda. A little bit here on the life of this deceased, why he always as Mangra. What I will miss most is, as I tell some of them again, our father's language. What we just call Hindi, but it's not Hindi, it's an admixture of Hindi and Bhojpuri. And when I met him for the first time by Parasram Baba's house, it was him, Diva, and Sam. And I would join them as a young boy, sometimes like a son or so, because I could talk the language and I enjoyed that company. And it's privileged to be able to talk. Now I have nobody again to talk. So if I want to talk the language now, I have to go to Suriname to meet a friend down there. So this we have lost. And that was a camaraderie that we used to have among us and that kind of thing. So I made some comments on that last time. But here we are to pay our final respects to Mangra. We will, some of them, we will leave here, some will accompany him to the funeral site, and that is as far as we could go. So as Vicky is saying here, I, dear Taylor, we have come alone and we need, or we will in the end go back alone. What happens in between here is, as I have said already, that which we do to move forward spiritually. So we're not here only a physical being. What has happened? Jiva, or spirit, has separated from the physical. This physical, in our dharma, is always saying, we know that this is the prakriti. The prakriti is the physical being. We are not here merely for that alone. So chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita will tell us quite a bit here. The soul can neither be cut and destroyed and all of that kind of thing. So, but we have no relation with soul. We have relation with this physical being. But there is also, when soul separates from the physical, then we say this body is dead. So the soul is necessary, and the soul is the record that carries all our karmas and so that goes forward, and this will determine in the next lifetime again. That is what will determine where we are. And our goal here is to strive for moksha, which is reunification with jiva, or individual soul, with Paramatma, super soul. That should be our goal, and we should work towards that. So our purpose is not only to come here and try to eat out and drink out everything. We can't finish doing that at all. But one will decide when the end will come. And as he has decided when our end has also come. So we have some karmas that we need to work out, that we call prarabdha. We will accumulate new prarabdha going forward again. And it has to depend on the kind of life we're doing. Who we are, what we are, so it depends on what we are. The family we come from, the environment we grow up in, the education that we will have. All of those will influence our thinking and so to determine what and who we are. Yeah, so today we are here now to pay our final farewell to Mangra. Yeah? So, our final farewell to him, and this is as much as we can do. We have restrictions also, so we can't even gather police. A lot of people who might want to be here are not able to be here also. And this is about where we are, all of us have to go the same way. And like I sometimes tell people again, we know we have to go here. You sure you have to go here? We are going to go for the interview, but we prepare for the interview. This we sure about and we don't prepare for it at all. So most of it, when it comes surprising, and it has started from the beginning in creation and continues again as we are into it. So some of us are better prepared, most of us are less prepared. Yeah. So the life of Mangra we have heard about from his daughter, and I don't want to add too much more again in these circumstances. It's not a thing to make big speeches on so. So last night and the night before I would have explained quite a lot. What time was our relation, what our expectations, and that sort of thing. So most of you who are here will have already heard. I've just seen my cousin, Monday from Sundar, walking in somewhere around. Ramji? Okay. Alright, I understand we have our area parliamentary representative, so we'll ask him to say a few words, and we will need him, I think. Okay, alright. There's a few people.
Sidaram, and thank you very much, Pandit Lal, Pandit Ram, Pandit Shivan, Pandit Tikan, to members of the bereaved family of the late Mr. Mangra. I should say Uncle Mangra, because yesterday, when I communicated with his daughter Parvati, and I was advised of his passing, I thought that it would be foolish of me if I was not present here to pay my final respects to him. Because Dr. Ramlal, Puran Ramlal, who is here with us, can testify to the work that he did on behalf of our party. Whilst he would have fulfilled his sense of duties and responsibilities as a husband, a father, a father-in-law, a grandfather, great-grandfather, and what he would have meant to each and every one of you. Today I stand tall on the shoulders of the work that he would have done in a very quiet and very humble way with persons like the late Kelvin Ramnath, our current Dharmacharya, Dr. Rampasad Parasram, whom was the first chairman of our party. And sometimes we fail to say thank you, sometimes we fail to underscore the great work that the ordinary foot soldiers of the party would have done for us over the passage of time. And here was a man who was well connected, gave of his time, his blood, sweat, and tears. And all I could simply say to all members of the bereaved family here this morning, our greatest sense of appreciation and thanks. And he was someone who was very well knitted in this community of Kuva. Very well knitted, and also through family relation. He was well known in Dow Village and Basta Hall, and I could go on and on, because he would have been the uncle of the late Larry Paul and Sham Paul and others from Dow Village in California. And that were two individuals who were people who I was connected with over the years in different forms and fashions. So this morning, as I pay my tribute, I pray that Lord Krishna will bless his soul to continue its journey, and also to members of the bereaved family. He was a simple and a gentle human being, and someone who would have made his mark in your respective lives, and also would have made his mark from a political point of view on behalf of all of us. Sidaram, and thank you very much, Panditji.
Thank you. We have a committee on the ground as well, so most of that is sentence. So we see somebody resolve the karma, most people can't have one bandit. Yeah, he has 4. I tell you, I knew Mangra from the time he was in Bombay. You might consider that I am talking about India. But as you go to Bastahor, and as you took the right turn, there was a village there called Bombay. And Mangra, I knew that Janko Bardania, brother who passed away here, they all from Bombay. My father would be the pundit for all of them. Mangra has always been a service giver. He was every time doing something for somebody. Cut some bamboo for the lady, or something of the Shah family, he was there helping. So when I saw him about a month ago, I looked at him frail, bed, and I thought, this physical body, look what it comes to after a period of time. When the one who could do everything for everybody could do nothing for himself. So some of us who go to gyms and whatnot, there's a gym right here, and build all the fancy muscles and eat all the fancy food and feel that I will never change. That's because you are not sure. You can ask Dr. Ramlal. The aging process cannot be reversed. And so, when I heard he passed away, I said, at last, final peace. Mangra is sure to go where he came from, because he was a giver. He was a karma yogi, one who does for others, not wanting others to do for him. Such a man is rare to find. So Bhai, he never stopped calling me Bhai. Bhai means brother. Whether he's here, whether I was in the Mandir Kuwa, wherever he be, Bhai. Or New Year's when he would bring a big bunch of giant figs to make sure that we could eat good green fig chakari. Mangra, as I said before, was a giver. He never bothered to receive. So let us pray for him. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Let Bhagwan Vishnu receive his own. Great Atma Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. One quick word.
As you all know, the family is not a stranger to me. Mangra Mausa, he was a Mausa to me. Mausi, Leela and Parvati and everyone know that we related from my nanny, who was the Mausi. And when I get the message about Mausa, he had passed away, I remember memories by Nani there over the house theater, which is Nani. My Nani, when Mausi have what with the first round family, we remember as little children, Nani coming and spending weeks at once and making sure that they're cooking and all those things. And I remember when my Nani came and go to Uncle Clyde, Tanti Terbini and everyone, there was a treatment Nani, you know, that is a Mausi. And you know, we have this relationship. Leela lived down by me, Parvati and everyone. When I get the message, Councillor Gopal bring the message to me. He told me that Parvati said that we family, and after I get a call from our Omar that the earliest thing that come here. So what I should say, I know that he is the eldest in the family, so far on my mother's side, right? The oldest had gone now. So we are here at property, you know, we just look for one another, whatever I have. And I remember when Mausa, we have Ramayana and whatever, wedding or whatever, difficult time, he was to be there for us. So may God bless him wherever he is.
Thank you, Counselor. So at this phase, we have some other members of the family who will continue, who want to do harati, offer the flowers, other people who would have come. We go around and view the body. While I would like to, in his lifetime, I know old Elder Pandit Panasram used to be his Pandit. And the old man had a favorite bhajan that he used to sing when we go to funeral and so. Those of us who know, I would like you to please join me in that one again. Right, so some of us, we start with Krishna Chandra Maharaj. The old man used to put us his first line. So please come.
And please do remember that we are in the midst of the pandemic, so we try our best to keep on the mask, keep the hand sanitized, a little bit of distance as well. So please remember to follow the guidelines while we are taking part in the activity. Thank you.
Thank you. Parabrahma Parameswar ji Vinati itni suniye suniye Vinati itni suniye suniye इनके कछु है अवलंब नहीं जिनके कछु है अवलंब नहीं इनके चरण रखिए रखिए इनके चरण रखिए रखिए इसके अवगुण बहुत इसके अवगुण बहुत यह बार क्षमा करिए करिए यह बार क्षमा करिए करिए दीन दयाल पिता दीन दयाल पिता चाहिए चाहिए विधान चाहिए चाहिए मोक्ष दया बिना हो नहीं मोक्ष दया बिना हो नहीं चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए करिए भवसागर धार बहुत भवसागर धार बहुत कोई नाव वहाँ चाहिए चाहिए कोई नाव वहाँ चाहिए चाहिए कोई भ्राता तुम्हारे करीब नहीं कोई भ्राता तुम्हारे करीब नहीं दया भगवन करिए करिए दया भगवन करिए करिए I will only explain one part, one verse in it. मोक्ष दया बिना होता नहीं चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए करिए. Our purpose in life is moksha, reunification of Jivatman, individual Atman, with Paramatman, the super soul. And we are saying here in this thing that without that grace of Shri Bhagavan, that cannot come. No matter how much you try, whatever you do. Yeah. So the grace of Bhagavan is what we will seek always.
पुराण ग्रंथ बहु विधि पर तेरा पुराण ग्रंथ बहु विधि पर कोई न पावत पार कोई न पावत पार एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार भवसागर में जीवन नैया भवसागर में जीवन नैया राम लगावे पार राम लगावे पार एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार जन्म गवाया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया झूठी जन्म गवाया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया एक पिता के हम सब लड़की धरती हमारी माता एक पिता के हम सब लड़की धरती हमारी माता कुटुंबक बेला संघन साथी कुटुंबक बेला संघन साथी काल डंक
If anybody wants to view for the final time after this bhajan, we will take your uncle to this there. We have to make one stop to make up it many mangas. So if anyone wants to have one final viewing, please come forward.
माया में करे माया दो दिन का बहुनाय जगत में माया में भरे माया धन दौलत कुछ काम नहीं आवे छूटी जाय बकाया साधु गंगा बनी है कोमल जिसकी धारा सत्संग का गंगा बनी है कोमल जिसकी धारा करिय स्नान विमल करि काया करिय स्नान विमल करि काया पापिन पार कराया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया साधु झूठी जन्म गवाया जन्म गवाया
Thank you. So at this phase we looking at time also in our commitment. So we are at about 10 a.m. now. So at this phase we will lift the body from the position it is and we do what we call our first mangra. So here we will lift the body, rest it about here, do a little bit of thing and then we set it into the hearse and we move on to the cremation site. Yeah? So this is, so we all stand, please. Yes, sir, perfect.
No, they had to go back.
Squatto. Yeah. Put them everything right here. The water? 1, 2, 3 times? 1, 2, 3 times. Yeah. Also, the scripture Matatmanadham Daksha Prithavincha Apo Daksha Yati Tatrati Hitam Oshadesho Pratisharam Om Panchtatvaha Santi Om Panchtatvaha Santi Om Panchtatvaha Santi.
Anything from this time, okay. Yeah. Yeah, inside the neck, right? Yeah. Okay.
Gotta find me out.
That's why you don't need naked.
This one coming in this hand. Look over this hand. This one coming in this hand. Om
Padyakasya Putrasya Jualla Prisasya Dvardeshe Parimetyana Vishnu Devta Eshate Indro Putraha Diyate Putra Putra Diyate Tavo Patmashitana Vishnu Idam Niram Idam Chiram Idam Vivaha.
Only pin this one. Okay.
Going again, John, put forth. Alright, so somebody else has a while you take the cloth and everything and go there. I know you can do that. Try. Nam Nam Satya Hai, Yehi Sab Kam Satya Hai.
Boy, will you put box inside here? Right, good man. Yeah, man, outing. Right. You're jumping at that feel like you're jumping on the run, no? I should start going to go on already.
Trying to keep, so when you go down, you have to do a little adjustment. Yeah. Okay, earth and yes.
I like doing the elbow. I two would have four.
No. Wait, not one anyhow. Which hand? Right hand? Yeah, right hand. Kashyap Bhuttasya, Sri Mangra Jualla Pretasya, Chatwari, Sri Chatwari, Ishati Indraha, Sri Putta, Same direction also, head north for south. Right. Now we fourth stop. I don't know if it's there. No, I don't know. That not for children? Yeah. Same direction? Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
Spin. Yeah. Spin right on.
Take your position quietly. Squat down.
Right, next thing that's the over. No, that's not fine any hand. Right? Okay. Final one? Yeah. Any hand, yeah. Okay. Mangra, Jualla, Sada, Vinitram, Preta, Vatavo, Sri, Sri, those again who didn't get a chance to view at this point in time before we while we are prepping the body, we will remove all of the flowers. The two pillars in what you have now, you will leave the two pillars in the hand, right? All the flowers, you will remove everything. And IG here will give to you now these ingredients. You will pull up your sleeve now. Keep the face free, you put it and make sure you put everything else. All of his little guidance he will give to you how you put it. Mama says, it's a 45. All this? Yeah. Okay. 45.
Yes, all that equal. Morning chest. Yes, bring a morning chest.
Just put some butter in head. It's called butter the box. It's a little bit big. Yeah, that's it.
That's good.
So again, while it is that the body is being prepped before we place it into the chitta, please come forward those who wish to see for the last time here. Bol Raja Ramachandra ki Jai. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai
You go put it on the back. For special. A little bit.
Yes. Yes,
it's good there?
Okay.
Okay, we're going this way.
Which way?
One man saying two. Go to the middle right there.
Are you ready, boys?
Which how many?
No, just as you do. 7, are you ready, boys?
All right, you ready?
Wait.
How many of you?
Wait.
How many?
Pick up on to the
Nah, drop that.
One. Right.
Okay. Good.
Right, and if you could off right. Right in. No. Here. Fire. Here.
Oh, forward.
Right. Om Lokaya Swaha. Om Pati Swaha. Om Lokaya Swaha. Om Nidevya Swaha. Om Mansevya Swaha. Om Snayubhya Swaha. Om Astibhya Swaha. Om Majjabhya Swaha. Om Retase Swaha. Om Kayave Swaha. Om Ayasaya Swaha. Om Prayasaya Swaha. Om Samyasaya Swaha. Om Vyasaya Swaha. Om Udasaya Swaha. Om Suche Swaha. Om Sauchate Swaha. Om Sauchamanaya Swaha. Om Shokaya Swaha. Om Tapase Swaha. Om Tapyate Swaha.
Go first and then we'll do that. Okay.
Swaha. Om Tapyaya Swaha. Om Dharmaya Swaha. Om Vityaya Swaha. Om Prayaschityaya Swaha. Om Vijaya Swaha. Om Yamaya Swaha. Om Antakaya Swaha. Put like Om Mrityaya Swaha. Om Brahmani Swaha. Om Brahmatyaya Swaha. Om Vishwebhyo Swaha. Om Dhava Pritibhyah Swaha. Do Panchaksham.
Just the last part in the Panchaksham. Last part in the Panchaksham.
Om Pretavaya Swaha. Om Preta Sakhaya Swaha. Om Pretapaya Swaha. Om Preta Bhumipaya Swaha. Om Preta Hatre Swaha. Pick up where you have, no? Om Sri Krishnaya Swaha. Om Sri Krishnaya Swaha. Om Sri Krishnaya. Little bit again.
Use a little bit stronger. Right?
Om Sri Krishnaya Swaha.
You can say the name of your father. Om.
Kasyap Gotraya.
Mangra Jaya.
Pretasya
Swaha. Mangra Jualla. Ritasya Swaha. Mangra Jualla. Ritasya Swaha.
Sarvebhya Pritebhya.
One more? Yeah.
All of it?
All.
Sarvebhya Pritebhya Swaha. Empty out everything on the arm. Keep us there. You want to take the white one? Give them the old one. Two one. Yeah.
2 by 1. Can we have all the thing there for when you going along?
Yes. Okay.
Man comments for the
Yeah.
Stand behind. One behind me.
Right, let's stand behind him. Second one behind him.
Behind it.
He's going to be with me. Yeah.
Only close the light. Around there. Yeah. Om Kita Sudutam Sarvajamata Papya Janta Mrityu Kalam Apyanaram Panchtatvam Adatam Om Dharam Samayuktam Rupamoha Samanvitam Deham Sarvagatrani.
No, he can't pass. Go ahead, go on. Go ahead. You can put in.
35. Right, got it.
Sutva Suduskritam Karma Janta Vapya Janta Mrityu Kala Vansh Praptyam Naram Panchtatvam Gatam Dharma Adharma Samayuktam Robhamoha Samavritam Dehiyam Sarvagatrani Divyana Lokan Sarvakshatu.
Yeah. Good. 30 can't find it.
That's a big one, though. Fire. You step long on side, let them go on side. Good.
35 पर इससे कैसे
Within complete challenge, we should do all 5 ideas. We can do what and pull either 1 to 10. Yeah.